Hey guys, my name is Amanda. Welcome to my channel. I am so happy to have you here today. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing if you like what you see. If you do that, please hit the bell button so you're notified every single time that I upload. Also, giving me a big thumbs up really helps me out here on YouTube. So today's video is going to be all things bee, and I have some really fun projects for you guys. I showed some of them just now, but let's jump right in to these easy Dollar Tree DIYs. So for this DIY, I'm going to show you this gorgeous Be Kind sign that I made very easily and inexpensively using a Dollar Tree pizza pan, which I painted with Waverly plaster 2 coats. And then I have this gorgeous scrapbook paper that I got in a scrapbook packet at Hobby Lobby when it was on sale. I paid just over $2, and I got various different papers and also some little cutouts that were really cute. So definitely check out Hobby Lobby's scrapbook section. Now I'm just going to put some glue stick on my pan and on the back of my paper, and I am just going to place my paper down on my pan. Now I am decorating the back side of this pizza pan because when we place rope around the edge, it just goes on better if it's on the back of the pizza pan because the edge kind of creates a dip, if that makes sense, but it just works out better. I sand around the edge of my paper to give it a clean look, and now I'm coming in with this rope. You can find rope at Dollar Tree, but if I'm going to be using a lot of rope, I prefer to get it at Hobby Lobby on sale because you get a bigger amount and it ends up being a better deal. Now I'm just going to glue it down around my pizza pan 3 times, and now here is some of these little bee die cuts. They are so cute, and I just went ahead and used hot glue to attach them on. Yeah, and it was $2.99 for a bunch of goodies at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to use hot glue to adhere these onto the paint right above where the edge of that scrapbook paper is. Then I just made a cute little bow with some Dollar Tree ribbon with 1 loop on either side, and it is tied in the middle with some twine, and I'm just dovetailing these ends by cutting a triangle upward. I do cover my pizza pan in Mod Podge very generously to protect it, and I use my Cricut to print out the word kind, but you could use Dollar Tree stickers if you would like, and here's what it looks like. So easy but so cute. I hope you think so too. And now on to the next one. Love this one. It may be my favorite. So I'm taking this vase from Dollar Tree. It has this black chalk oval on the front of it, and I'm taking some more of this jute rope and I'm going to cover this vase in it. So I began by gluing it down and going all the way around up until I get to the point where my black oval begins. At that point, I'm going to go strand by strand. So I cut a piece off, glue it down to the edge of that oval, go around and glue it down again. I'm going to continue this until I get to the top of that oval so that I don't cover it up. Once I get to the top of my oval, I will then begin going all the way around the vase again until it is nicely covered and my rope goes all the way to the top. So here I am just trimming off once I get to that oval and gluing it down. And don't worry, we will cover up all these jagged edges with an extra couple pieces of rope to give it a nice finish. So here I am at the top, just kind of gluing it down, tucking that tiny little piece toward the inside so it's not sticking out all willy-nilly. And now here I come with an extra piece of rope just to kind of clean up that little black oval entry hole to our beehive. I'm actually going to use 2 pieces of rope. So I'm using one kind of on the outer part of the beehive hole, and then I'll come around with another one on the inner part. When I get to where my little piece attaches, I will glue it down, trim off the excess. Here is my second layer, following the same process of just gluing it down. And I just think that this is so cute and so easy, you guys. So for all of these projects today, I just used that one group of rope that I showed you from Hobby Lobby for $3.99 and just a tiny bit of a second one. So this is a lot of rope that I used, and so I do advise
buying rope in bulk if you can. So here I'm squirting some hot glue onto some wax or parchment paper, allowing it to dry, and then painting it with my Waverly Maze chalk paint. Then I'm going to use hot glue to attach the hot glue pieces to the front of my beehive, and I think that this is so cute and looks like drips of honey. I did put 2 layers of Waverly Maze chalk paint. Now I'm going to take another little bee button from a pack I got from Hobby Lobby and attach it to the top of my hive. I then popped in some cute little florals I had in my stash, and I just think this is so adorable, you guys. It would be so cute if you made several of these in different heights
and displayed them on a vignette. There's all kinds of different ways you could display them. So cute. Okay, guys, so our next idea is to take time for yourself and also to pamper yourself. You deserve to have lovely, beautiful things. So when a representative from Teddy Blake reached out to me about collaborating and showing you guys their beautiful purses, I was so excited. I'm honestly not the type to spend money on myself. I usually spend it on my kids and my dogs and my family and my house, but sometimes it is okay to pamper yourself. And Teddy Blake has absolutely gorgeous purses. I'm just showing you some of them that are featured on their website. Their website is very easy to navigate, and they even have a fun little quiz where you can pick your own handbag style, which I think is so cute. A team of Italian designers pitch from well-known luxury brands. Teddy Blake creates a handbag designed for every style choice. If you don't have a Teddy Blake yet, you can subscribe, and they release new collections every month. Their designers work very hard to develop new, unique designs and also try to keep the price point to affordable levels. I was so excited when unboxing my very own Teddy Blake because the box was so gorgeous. I was in love with the box before I even saw the purse. It is so perfect for storing your purse in when you're not using it. And once you open the box, your purse is housed in this gorgeous bag that again is perfect for storage when you're not using it. The purse itself was stunning. I was so thrilled with it. It has little clasps at the front that turn to open the purse, and there was a longer strap inside. Again, if purple is not your color, Teddy Blake has gorgeous purses in so many different colors, as I showed at the beginning of this clip. I just absolutely love them all, but this is the one I chose. Purple is my favorite color. You too can enjoy the luxury feel and smell of real leather, as all Teddy Blake bags are made with luxurious leather from Italy's finest pelletries. They are dyed and treated to withstand the test of time and maintain a luxurious look. Respecting the label's history, they make sure that each Teddy Blake bag is characterized by high-quality construction, attention to detail, shape, and durability. Using the same exquisite materials as all luxury brands, they claim to never compromise on quality. Of course, I can only speak for the one bag that I have seen and received, but all of these statements are true about this gorgeous purse that I am thrilled to own. So here I am just showing you in several different poses, and you guys, I am not a model like you will see on their website, gorgeous models holding these purses. Yeah, that's not me. I'm just a real life mom, but every once in a while, a real life mom can treat herself to a gorgeous purse. So check out this website. You would like to pamper yourself or a loved one, I will have all the links for Teddy Blake below in my description box, as well as a discount code or coupon code so you can save on your very own Teddy Blake design. Okay, now we are going to jump back into the DIYs. So for the next one, I'm going to show you how I made this
Hive candle holder that you can make in a set, or you could use different size glasses to make one bigger and one smaller. So I'm going to be using this glass from Dollar Tree, some jute rope, and some Waverly ink chalk paint. I'm going to paint the stem of my glass in Waverly ink chalk paint. When that is dry, I'm going to take this rope, glue it down, and begin to cover the entire glass part of my glass. I like to buy my rope at Hobby Lobby, as I find that it's the same type of rope as you get at the Dollar Tree, but a better value. But as I said, this rope can be found at Dollar Tree. Once you come to the top, I cut it off at an angle and tack that down with some hot glue. I go ahead and trim off any fuzzies or anything sticking out. I then take a small detail paintbrush and paint a circle with my Waverly ink chalk paint on the front of the glass covered in rope. Once that is done, I take a small piece of rope and I outline this black circle using hot glue to adhere the rope. Once my circle is outlined, I then trim off any excess. This craft is so adorable. I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to make some more in different sizes. So once that is done, then I'm going to take these cute little bees, or I guess just one cute little bee button from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to glue that right on inside of that little black hole. Now I'm going to take some parchment paper and some hot glue. I'm just going to squirt it on the parchment paper. Now here in a minute, you're going to see the hot glue kind of go crazy and it kind of squiggle all over the paper. That is because my son Elliot was determined that he was going to make some honey as well. So his honey is a little wiggly. But now we're just going to take some Waverly Maze Chalk paint and we're going to go ahead and paint that dried hot glue. I wait for the paint to dry and give it 2 or 3 coats until I like how it looks. I then peel it off of my parchment paper. If any parchment paper sticks, you can easily peel that off. I then use hot glue to glue the hot glue to the opening at the bottom of my little beehive hole. I'm then going to take an LED candle from Dollar Tree, well, a battery operated candle from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to wrap a piece of this beautiful ribbon around it. This ribbon was purchased at Sam's Club, but Dollar Tree does carry some bee ribbon in the summer and spring. Now I'm just going to take a piece of twine and go ahead and wrap it around the ribbon on my candle a couple of times. Once I get that how I like it, I will tie it off, trim off the excess, and then I'm going to go ahead and just glue a cute little jute twine bow to the front of that. Sorry, I sound a little rough today. For some reason, my voice kind of keeps cracking. So please don't pay any attention to that. But now I'm just going to trim off the tails of that bow. And here we go, an adorable little candle for the top of our little beehive candle holder. I absolutely love how this came out. It was a very inexpensive. Even if you have some glasses around your house that you're not using in your kitchen, this would just be super cute and fun to make. And now I'm going to show you a very inexpensive, adorable little miniature beehive that would be perfect for a tier tray. So I got these pots from Dollar Tree. They're 3 for $1.25. I took one pot and flipped it over upside down. I then took a length of rope that I liked for my loop and I put the bottoms together and hot glued them. I then took some twine and wrapped it around my hot glued ends to hold them together nicely. I glued the ends of my twine down, trimmed off any excess that I may have had. Now at the bottom of my rope loop, I trimmed off any excess there as well so that it was nice and flat. I then used my hot glue gun to make a hole in the bottom of this plastic pot. Then I went ahead and pulled my rope loop through, leaving the hole on the inside of the bottom of the pot. I secured that with some extra hot glue. I then took some twine from Dollar Tree from the hardware section and I began wrapping this entire pot. I started at the top right around that loop and then I just wrapped all the way down to the bottom of this pot. Once I was done, I glued down my ends and cut off any excess. I'm going to follow the same step of painting a hole entrance to this beehive with my Waverly ink chalk paint and going around my hole with a piece of a rope. I'm then going to create a cute little bow for the top of this with this beautiful ribbon by just making a loop on either side and then folding it over and kind of forming a crisscross. I will then squish my crisscross in the middle and take a piece of twine and tie it around as tight as possible. The tighter that you tie your twine or zip tie or pipe cleaner or whatever you care to use to tighten your bow, the more you will be able to fluff up the sides of your bow and it will look super pretty. So once that is done, of course, I'm going to trim off any excess of my twine and give this a good fluffing. I like to fluff it before and after I attach it to my project by just inserting my fingers inside of that loop and just kind of fluffing and puffing it out. Once that is done, I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the top front of my beehive, right in front of that little rope holder. And I'm going to take my last little button bee, cut off the little button part in the back, and just glue it down right in the middle of my bow. I'm then going to take some eucalyptus pieces that I had in my stash, but eucalyptus can be purchased inexpensively at Walmart, or you can buy a garland at Hobby Lobby at 50% off and just use pieces off of it. But this was another adorable, inexpensive project that is perfect for a small space or a vignette. Okay, so for my next DIY, I'm going to be using the Market Fresh calendar from Dollar Tree and the page that says honeybees and flowers, please. I'm going to use this cutting board that is a little larger than a Dollar Tree cutting board, but you could use a Dollar Tree cutting board and just size your image down a little bit. So I painted my cutting board with Waverly ink chalk paint, and then I used a craft glue stick on top of my cutting board and also on the back of my calendar image. I adhered the image and then used a Dollar Tree sanding sponge in downward motions to remove any excess calendar page off of my board. I then used Mod Podge around the edges of the board and also any corners that are sticking up and over the top of my image. By painting my cutting board black, I'm preventing any of the lines on the back of my calendar image from showing through. I'm then going to take 4 pieces of greenery that I had in my stash and put 2 on either side at the top, apply an amount of glue there, a generous amount, and add one of my bows that are in an X formation, as I show how to make earlier in this video, and add a beautiful floral from Dollar Tree right there in the middle, a pretty yellow floral. And then I'm just going to take some of this Dollar Tree burlap trim and just glue it down to the bottom of this cutting board sign, removing any excess. And this is so simple, so easy, so pretty, and Mod Podging over the calendar page also protects it and will make it last longer, and it just looks gorgeous. I really hope that you like it as well. So next I am going to show you this gorgeous beehive and sign. So I began with one of these little baskets from Dollar Tree. They're for a barbecue, and I believe they come about 3 to a pack. I purchased this jute twine from Hobby Lobby as I found it cheaper. It was $3.99 for this huge roll, but Dollar Tree's rope is about the same size for $1. It just depends on the quantity that you want, but I find this to be a better deal. Took this basket and cut off the bottom part. I left about 3/4 at the top and just cut off the bottom. So really how big you want your beehive to be, you just cut off the excess. I then started taking my rope or twine and forming a circle in my fingers by using tiny dabs of hot glue and just rolling it around like a cinnamon roll. Once I get a fairly large roll, I am then going to hot glue that to the top of this basket like so. I'm then going to go around about 1 or 2 more times to just make sure that this covers the very top of our basket, and once that is done, I will glue it down and cut that excess. At this point, I'm going to begin putting strands on one by one. So I'm going to take an end, glue it down to the side of my basket, go all the way around to the other side and glue that down. I'm going to do this almost all the way down my basket, but when I get toward the bottom, I'm actually going to go around the whole basket a few times, and that way I have some rope on the back to be a base to attach my sign to for stability. So I didn't want to go all the way around this whole thing and waste a bunch of my rope, so I just did a few loops, about 4 I believe, around the back, and that way I have a nice base to glue onto. And then I just finish this off with single strands like you see me doing here. Once I get to the bottom, I'll then take a pair of sharp scissors and trim off any excess of this basket that is hanging off of the end. It may be a little sharp, that is why I kind of sanded off my basket end, but just be careful of your fingers. And once you do this, your basket should be able to stand up with your sign. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my Waverly ink chalk paint and a small brush, and I'm going to create a circle on the front of my beehive. Once I get my circle outline done, I'll just go ahead and fill it in with a generous amount of this Waverly ink chalk paint. Once that is dry, I will take a small piece of this rope or twine and I will outline that circle for the entrance to our beehive. I'll just use hot glue to glue that down. Now, once I get my beehive attached to my sign, I will be going around the whole hive with a strand of rope just to kind of clean it up. But I purchased these beads at Hobby Lobby. They were very inexpensive. They're actually buttons, but they work perfect for this craft. I'm just going to glue a couple down on my beehive. Now I'm taking the sign from Dollar Tree left over from Christmas, and I'm painting the back with my Waverly plaster chalk paint to give it a base. Hobby Lobby has their scrapbooking items 50% off lots of the time. This scrapbooking kit was $5.99, 50% off. It was such an amazing deal. So I went ahead and painted the top part of my tag with Waverly Maze right over that plaster chalk paint. I then took a piece of scrapbook paper that I liked and cut it to size for the bottom part of this tag. I cut a small circle out of the middle of this paper, and that way the rope on the back of my beehive can attach directly to the tag and not just to the paper. I smoothed the paper down using just a regular glue stick, like a school glue stick, and then I took my sander and sanded off the edges of the scrapbook paper.
I then glued my beehive
to my tag sign, making sure that the rope was right over that spot where there is no scrapbook paper, just so that it attaches nicely. I then took an extra length of this rope and went around my beehive to clean it up and give it a nice clean look. I then took this beautiful bee ribbon that I actually purchased at Sam's Club. It was about $5 for a huge roll, but Dollar Tree did have some bee themed ribbon last year if you were lucky enough to find that. Had a couple subscribers express interest in seeing some bows done in slow motion, so you can get a really good look at it. So here's another bow that I like to do. This is for this sign, but I'm just taking 2 loops of ribbon and kind of folding them over separately, gathering them together with an extra piece of ribbon at the bottom for tails. I gather in the middle tightly with a piece of twine, and then I usually take that twine and loop it around the back and tie tightly again. The tighter you cinch your bow in the middle, the more you can really fluff it up. So I'm just kind of showing you this in slow motion, and if you need to go back and look at it again, you can definitely do that, but I just trim off any excess on the back that there may be from when I folded those loops over. Then once that is done, I can go ahead and put my fingers inside the loops of my bow and give it a good fluffing. This is wired ribbon, and I do prefer wired ribbon for my bows as it fluffs up nice and pretty. Then I like to take my bow tails and I like to fold it over, and then holding it at the bottom or toward the bottom, I take my scissor and cut a triangle upward, and that gives you a beautiful dovetail boutique finish. I like to do this to both of my tails, and then here you have this adorable little bow. So I'm going to take this particular bow and attach it to my tag sign, and I did replace the original twine that was at the top, so this can hang or it can freestand. Now I'm going to take some cute little eucalyptus, oh my goodness, that I had in my stash, and I'm going to put some on either side. I used 2 sprigs on either side and some hot glue and just tuck it right underneath those bow loops. And I just think that this makes this look so pretty. And then I'm going to take another one of those little bees and glue it in the middle. So here is the font that I used for my phrase. Use this font for the words home is where your bee. And then for honey, I just went into where you can search images and I typed the word honey and it came up with this. So altogether, it's home is where your honey bee. I thought this was really adorable. I am just going to adhere this to my tag sign, and here is what it looks like. Of course, Dollar Tree does have letter stickers and ribbon transfers if you do not have a Cricut, or you could freehand however you like, but I just think that this came out so adorable for a wall or a front door or even a vignette, as you can hang or stand this sign whatever you like, but you could customize this as well with whatever scrapbook paper you like. So I hope that you
enjoyed these DIYs. They were so fun and easy to make. I absolutely love this style, and I absolutely love using Dollar Tree items to create an adorable high-end look. Please don't forget to check out Teddy Blake's website so you can pamper and spoil yourself, or even give a gift to a loved one. So that is it for me, you guys. Please take care. I will see you very soon.
You can subscribe to my mom's channel, and thank you for watching today's craft, and stay safe.